solution that when it comes to presenting it.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Can we of NASA Space App Challenge Bootcamp? And I'm honored to introduce our speaker for today's, Rashmi Shioran, and widely known as Astro Roxy. She is an ISRO space tutor and one of the youngest and most inspiring space communicators in India. She has been actively engaged in making space science accessible to the students and train programs across the country. She is known for her ability to simplify complex space concepts and ignite the curiosity among the learners. So, on behalf of the entire organizing, I extend a heartfelt welcome to you, ma'am, and we are truly very excited for your session.
Thank you so much. That's a lovely introduction. Thank you so much for taking the time to introduce to me in front of the audience. And okay, I will. Yep. Okay. So as I was sharing that when it comes to working on the project, that any solution that you're working on any of the problems, you might find yourself having so many ideas to work on the project, like for as much time as possible, that you would not be focused on the presentation itself. And if the presentation looks bad, I'm not sure how much your project can go ahead, because they're not just looking at the solution, but they're also wanting to understand what the solution is. So if your presentation is bad, you might actually, whatever efforts you have put in the project, they might not be that fruitful. So I would say that presentation is also a key when it comes to working on any of these projects. So if the presentation looks bad, that's a bad sign. To do about it. So the first thing would be to check past submissions on YouTube. So if I had Googled or I had searched this on YouTube, which is NASA Space Apps Challenge 2024, and it gave me a list of different videos that people have published last year or last to last year. You can, change the dates, change the year. And I would say there are dozens of videos that just come in the first 30, 40 searches. So you can just go through all of them to understand how other people have made it. Because these are some of the videos that have received a decent quality of, I would say, engagement or views. So it's always good to not spend too much time just thinking about how you will present, but you can just look at a couple of other past submissions so that your work is easier. You know what the different tools other people have used. And I think the limit is just 30 seconds. So it has to be really short. And you can see what other people have done right or wrong. For example, I had gone through the video that was provided to me. And I saw that the video was fast forward. For example, if it was a 1 minute video that was with a 2x speed, it was reduced to 30 seconds. And it looked like we're not able to understand what the person who is in the video is talking about. So I feel if you can just reduce the text, if you can really work on the script of the video, that can be really good. So that is also known as your pitch. So whenever you're starting the video or the pitch, because you don't just have to explain it in the video, you have to explain it to other people who are coming, other mentors who are also coming. So you should be ready with just 1 or 2 line summary of what the solution is. And that should be so clear and crisp. You can use AI to make it better, that the person really understands what you're talking about. So they should not be confused. It should not be something that is very lengthy. It should be very crisp. And you should also include how you're actually using NASA's open data to solve this problem. So this is the problem, this is the solution, and this is how you're using NASA's open data for the solution. So it should be very crisp, and you can spend some time just refining it again and again. And you can also use AI to actually work to make this, tell what your solution is, and then to make it concise and simple to understand. You can give it multiple prompts because you have a limited time. And if you're not able to think it yourself, you can use AI. We all use that. Then the next thing is going to be, yes, who is going to actually do it? Because you don't have too many people. You have a limited number of hours. You have a limited number of team members, right? So you should choose either voluntarily or, when you have your team and you're talking to each other, you should see which is the person who's really confident in either of these things. Like he's confident on camera, or he's confident in speaking English, and he is either good in video editing. So whatever the skill set of your team is, you should be really not just looking at what are the different coding or programming skills, but you should be also looking at which person is really good when it comes to editing the video, or when it comes to recording the voiceover for the video, or if you want your video to have a person speaking, then which person should be really comfortable. So there should be at least one member which is like the best out of all of you. And then it's just an easy decision that, okay, this is your responsibility. You have to make sure that the video is good in the end. But that distinction should be made early, so that in the end, it's not just like, you do it, so that there's no confusion. So try to, as early as possible, denote one member who's going to be, leading, or whose responsibility it is to finally record the pitch to be submitted. And then you can present your ideas in different ways. So one of the ways is, of course, like you're making a web app, you can just screen record it, and you can also do a voiceover while you're screen recording it. But the problem here can be, you don't have to, let's say, continuously record your screen for 1 minute and explain everything, and you're talking continuously. So you can record your screen, but you can cut it in between. So you don't have to show all the process. You can just show the highlights, and then you can also add other overlay or other pictures or videos as well. So it's because one of the videos, again, that I saw, the same thing that I noticed was that it was a screen recording, but the person who was doing the voiceover was hurrying through what is happening and continuously speaking. And then I was 1 minute long, reduced to 30 seconds. So it doesn't look that great. So once you have done the screen recording, try to reduce the length of the video to 30 seconds, 25 seconds. Then you can do a voiceover, and then you can also make that crisp. Or you can also do a talking head video, which is similar to, you have the screen recording, or you have your video presented, but using Zoom or anything else, you have your face and you're talking and explaining. So that looks a bit more interactive. If you have a person in your team that is like confident to speak in front of the camera, that is also going to make your pitch stand out. And of course, you can, rather than showing the entire screen recording, or rather than showing the entire process, you can also use screenshots or images. So you don't have to show the entire process, how a web app opens, when you click on this option, what opens, how much time it takes, what are the different options. So you don't have to go through the entire thing. You can just choose screenshot and, highlight using something that is clear. So you can just highlight there that this is what we're talking about. You just annotate it using red color or yellow color, or something like that, so that it's easy to see. Again, it is going to save the time in the pitch, and you don't have to then reduce or you have to fast forward the final video. You have to focus on presenting it neatly, so that whosoever is watching it, whosoever is listening to it, they are really clear about what you're talking about. Yes, and you can just edit the video in the phone itself, the final pitch that you're going to submit. You don't have to learn a different software like Premiere or anything else in your laptop or in your computer to do it. These are the apps that people use to make these short videos on YouTube or Instagram, and I also use them. And I would say they are very easy to use. Just try not to use too many functions, because they have a lot of functions and features. But when it comes to simply just trimming the audio or increasing the audio, the sound, whenever, because you might have recorded it in multiple batches, so that all of the audio that you have recorded, so you can just adjust it when you are free, and you can just watch a simple tutorial how to do it. And because these have the features, you don't have to go to the laptop and then export from here and there, and then make the process really lengthy. Because if it is just in your phone, you can just learn it in maybe 15-20 minutes, and you would be good to go. And try not to use AI voiceover, because then it would look like that you're not putting in the effort to actually record it. So you can use the AI to maybe write the text or make it easy to understand by giving it different prompts. But when it comes to actually recording the video, try not to use an AI avatar or an AI voiceover, because then it looks like you're not putting in the effort and you're just rushing through it. So maybe that's going to work against you if you use the AI voiceover. Even though it's tempting and it's easily accessible, try not to do that. Yes, and explain. So you have the problem and you have worked on solution, but of course, if you had more time, you are able to work on the solution a little bit longer. So in the end, if possible, in the last 5 seconds or so, and if not possible, what do you want to do in the future using this solution? Like, what does it look like 1 year down the line if your team continues to work on this, so that it shows that you're actually serious about this solution and you're invested into it, irrespective of the competition. So it's a good thing if you have time, and if you feel like this is something that we have in mind but we were not able to finish it during the hackathon, you can just include it in the pitch that yes, this is what we are thinking in the future, and that can also give you additional points, that this is how what we have done so far, this is what we're planning to do in a couple of months, and this is how it can actually connect to the real world solution. So if you're clear about that pitch, again, it can stand out. So it's not just about the solution, but it's also about like how you are presented. That's the key over here. And yes, if you want like exact or more updated project guidelines, like how you should submit your pitch or submit your video or anything else, your project, then you can check this website again on 3rd of October. So the details or the instructions have not yet been updated, but I guess there's so much more to be updated on the website. So just wait a couple of days and then see whatever they have mentioned so far, so that if there's something that's new or something that I have not covered or you have not thought, all of the different suggestions, then you might idea to just go there and see it before you actually record the pitch. So you can try to make some demo pitches, just try to record, because 30 seconds is a very, very short time. But don't record the final pitch before you actually head to this website and you're pretty sure about that you're not doing any mistakes, and you can highlight something more so that there are no confusions or misunderstanding. So that's all. I have rushed through the presentation because there's not much to say. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me. But these are like some of the important guidelines that I could find on the website and that I could find when I looked through the different pitches. But I would say the best is just simply going to be this thing, that you go through the past submissions, because you will be able to see what are the different ways you can present your pitch and how much information is actually possible in 30 seconds. And you can also like work backwards, that this is how we're hoping that our pitch is going to look like. So what are the key components that should be visible there, and what should we develop in the project? So maybe you have worked on something, but you can't really show that in the pitch. Then is it really worthwhile to spend so much energy there? So you can try to think that way as well, that because the pitch is going to be the deciding factor, that how have you presented, and are the people actually curious to go to the web app or to the project and to check it out. So I would say like one team member dedicated to it for a few hours, so that you are confident in your pitch, and you're also confident to share it, not just in the competition but also after the competition, because you have spent so much time on this. So when you share it with the people in your college or school or anywhere else in your workspace, it should really look good, and they should be also impressed by it, that okay, we understand what you worked on. And maybe if you're hoping to work on this thing for a couple of months and couple of years after the hackathon is over, then it would be a good thing to have that on any of the YouTube channel, or have it very handy and in a good condition. So yeah, I hope you're like really put some mind and some effort before you record the pitch and when you edit it and before you post it. Yeah, so that's all. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Yes.
Participants, if you have any doubts, you can put it in the chat.
Yes, Kazma, you can ask me. Okay, let me see, something is in the chat as well. How should we handle situations when we accidentally say the wrong sentence, for example? Okay. So this is not the pitch. So this is when you are presenting it live to the judges, right? So how should we handle the situation when we accidentally say the wrong sentence? So I would say if you have said the wrong sentence So the number one way to make sure that this situation does not arise is to practice the pitch many number of times beforehand, so that you're not saying anything wrong or opposite, but you may just say a sentence in a different tone or in a different structure, but the meaning is still intact. So whenever I record my videos, right, most of the videos that I record are like 30 seconds or so, sometimes 20 seconds, sometimes up to 1 minute. And that is why I can't really speak that well for 1 minute straight or for 30 seconds straight. So what I try to do is I would write it down. I would try to say it multiple times and then say it confidently in front of camera. So you don't have to say it in front of camera or mirror because you don't have that much time, but you should write the pitch like as the hours go by and as you have more and more data and clarity of what the solution is going to look like, you write it down and you read it multiple times and try to explain it to the other team members or just other teams, not even just the team members, so that you're confident and the words that you're going to speak are not new to you. And you have, before you're actually speaking in front of the judge, you have said those lines multiple times, right? So that would be one way to just have, as a precaution, just practice before you actually deliver it to the judge. And the other way would be, even if you say something wrong, you should just say, oh no, that was incorrect. This is what we're actually working on. So you can just own up to the mistake and you can just correct it as soon as you realize it. And I don't think, because if you say something wrong and you think that I'm not going to point it out, but the other person or the judge actually realizes that you have made a mistake but you're not correcting it, it shows that you have not realized your mistake, which shows that you don't know about your project. So the better thing would be, if you realize that you have maybe said something incorrectly, the chances of that happening should be very less. But even if you somehow have made a mistake, then you should, as soon as you realize it, try to just share that, so that the other person doesn't feel like you don't know your own project. Because mistakes happen all the time. Making mistakes is all right, but not realizing your mistakes, or just hoping that the other person does not realize, actually might make the situation worse. So I would just give this advice, like practice it multiple times, so that there is no, so the situation where you might make a mistake is very less. But even if you make a mistake in front of somebody important, correct it as soon as possible. Because if you don't, and if you're just hoping and if you're gambling that the other person is not going to realize, but they do, then it's not going to be very nice, and your marks would be deducted because of that. So you realize a mistake, just say, oh yeah, I said that incorrectly, I'll just correct it, and then you can go about it. But because you have made a mistake, you might panic a little bit, which is, I think it just depends upon which is the person in your team which panics the least, and give this responsibility to them. Because depending upon how every person is talking, you should give this responsibility to the person that is very chill, doesn't panics even if the mistake is made, or even if some question is asked that your team has not really worked upon, or that is maybe one of the weakness of the solutions. The person who's really confident, or who does not panics, or who's very calm, you should give all of this responsibility to them, like, okay, you handle the judge, and you handle the speaking part, and we're just going to aid you. So that's going to be one solution. But of course, all of you can talk about your solution as much as possible in the team when you're having your lunch or any other break, so that everybody is on board, so that even if the judge asks the question to somebody else, they should be also prepared. So it's not like just like only one person is responsible. The other people should also know, because the judges, they do ask questions to multiple people. Sometimes it depends. So everybody should know. But the person who's like very calm and composed, you should try to give this responsibility to them, so that they can handle the situation in any sort of condition. Okay, let me read the question that is posed by Kazma. Okay. I want to ask that, can we ready our projects before submission? Like, I'm making a website, so should I make it till the submission so that I can test it and making changes, which helps me make my website better? Okay. Sure, Kazma. I'll summarize as well. So I think I'm not sure if you will be able to complete your project before the submission because there's so much things to do always. You're making a website. Um, okay, so you're saying like should you wait till the last moment because you're making changes in the website and it's getting better and better. So yes, so just make sure that you have a little bit of video editing and you have enough time, or you can make a demo pitch. Just try how much time you need for making that pitch, because let's suppose the deadline is 12 a.m and you are working on the website till 10 p.m, and you're hoping that okay, if the deadline is at 12, I still have 2 hours and it's just a 30-second video. I can just record it in the end. Let me just work on one other feature, or let me just code a little bit more. And then it is 11 p.m and 11:30 p.m, and then you start to record. So it can be a bit overwhelming if you're not sure about how to upload a video, because sometimes uploading a video on YouTube is not that easy. So just make sure that you know how to record, screen record. You know approximately what you have to say and what you have to show, and you're happy with the length of the video because it has to be just 30 seconds or less. So if you're taking more, then you need more time to like make it concise. And then once it is like a bit edited, you have the bunch of pictures or sentences that you want to highlight, some text that is there. You make sure, is it easy for you to upload it with the title and the captions and all the details, and then send it, right? So make sure you have enough time for that, or you're familiar with the process. Because if you're not familiar with the process, you've never have uploaded a video on YouTube before, then it might be new for you. What if you end up uploading it on Shorts or somewhere else, and it might be I don't know, so there can be so many things that might go wrong, especially just before the deadline. So I would say make a demo video, and if you're confident, then work till the end before the submissions. And then what you can do is you have a demo video ready, and then you have a new screen recording ready, but the voiceover and everything has been recorded. So maybe, or you can just add some screenshots from the website. It doesn't even has to be a screen recording. So you can think that okay, one video is ready almost, I just need to have this screenshot so that I can show it, and then let me work on this particular thing so that my screenshot looks better or my app or website looks better. Then you have to like plan it better, or you have to make a strategy for it. Yes, Webaby, Dinesh, that is what, as far as I know, that is the length. So I will just go through this again. Give me a second. Where's the screen? Okay. So I'll just go through yeah. So if you go to the NASA SpaceX challenge, right, you will see all of the videos that people have uploaded are 30 seconds only. So the pitch are 30 seconds long. They're not longer than 30 seconds. So you have to see how you are able to explain your pitch and some of the pitches. For example, the website Waterwise, I had watched this video. This person or this team is able to actually explain the whole project in 30 seconds. So that is possible. And then you go to their website, and then there's not much on the website, right? It's a bunch of things. You try to do it, and then it's possible for you to do it. So go through them. And that is why don't be alarmed when you're like, oh, how can we record it in less than 30 seconds? We have spent so many hours working on the project. There's so much to explain. That is why see the challenges beforehand. And I'll just summarize what I had talked about. So the pitch has to be not very long. It is like a bunch of sentences. I think maybe 10 sentences, 15 sentences only when you're presenting it to the judge or when you're making the video. So make sure that it is as concise and easy to understand as possible, because you may use some hi-fi words, but those should be easy to understand in that community or in that niche solution that you're working. But don't use words like adjectives from English that are very hard to understand. So you may use some technical words to actually explain your solution, but those will be well understood by the judge. But don't use any fancy adjectives, because then it makes the whole band. And just show what you have worked on, what the solution looks like. You may use screen recording, voiceover, you can use your face to explain that, screenshot images. So whatever you want to use, you can use that. And then you have to show this was the problem, this is our solution, this is how our solution looks like, this is how it looks like right now, and this is what we are hoping for in future. So this is what we will work on, this is how our solution in the future can look like, and this is how it is going to benefit the humanity, or this the real life solution of it. So it should be very easy to understand, what it should be. So that's the big picture of the pitch. And of course, you are just saying these things, but on the screen, you have time and you have space to actually show how these things are possible. So even though it feels like you're not able to explain everything in 30 seconds using this script, of course, you can spend some time, think creatively how you can highlight all of those things. And you can use the simple apps, CapCut, InShot, KineMaster, or anything else. I think, you can edit the videos right in YouTube and Instagram itself, and then you can save them. But try to just use these and not go to any other website, because or any other app in the laptop or the computer, because that is going to just, I think, increase the process, or it's going to make the process longer. So just make yourself familiarize with any of the app. Maybe one of your team member already uses these apps, right, to upload videos. So they would be already familiar with the very simple options of how to trim the video, how to make sure that the voice is of the same level, it is clear, is it easy to understand. If possible, you can even include those subtitles or captions or subtitles in the video itself, using the features in these apps. So you don't even have to type it out, and that makes it very easy to understand, because the people that are going to seeing these pitches are not just from India, but from all around the world. And what if there's some word that they're not able to understand because of the accent? So it could be a good option to just use the captions. Most of these apps, for example, CapCut has an inbuilt option to just auto generate those captions. So it's just makes things easier. The video looks nice. And of course, there are options in the YouTube itself. So I think these videos, some of them, they have those captions auto generated as well from YouTube. Just make sure they are correct if possible. So that's pretty much it. And go through the project submission guideline whenever it is out on October 3rd to make sure you're confident on how you're presenting it. Is there any other way? Not from just submitting the 30-second video on YouTube, but is there any other way, or is there any other new information that they're including it this year? So this is from the past year or the past few years, what I could understand. But if there's anything new, they're only going to release it on 3rd of October. So make sure that you go through this page once again as soon as it's out, and then you make your plan how you're going to present it. That would be, I would say, the summary of the most of the things I've said. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Do we have any other queries? Participants can put it in the chat if they have.
I think there are questions. So A. Salu has asked PowerPoint or video with transitions and effects. So I would say you don't have that much time actually to add those transitions and effects. If you're making a website, just make sure that it's a screen recording, I would say, essentially, if you're making a website. And then you don't have enough time to add those transitions when you're going from one place to another. So don't waste any time on those things, because what they're really looking for is how clear your pitch is. So you worked on a solution. Are you able to explain that solution to people? And then only they will be able to understand what your solution is and how novel and unique and beneficial it is. So the transitions and the effects and all of those things are not in the picture at all. Like, don't spend any time on them. They're just going to make things longer and more time intensive, and you're short on time. So don't try to engage in any of that. but whatever you have, just make sure it is clear and crisp. It's easy to understand. So the very first thing is it should be easy to understand. And if you think that you need 60 seconds to explain your entire project, including the problem solution and the future timeline, then I would suggest use some AI to and ask it how you can shorten it, what you can remove from maybe your event pitch. So I think now using AI, you can actually upload a video, and then it can like scan it for things that you can remove, not just the screenshots. And then you can like reduce rather than making the video fast forward, because when you make the video fast forward, it looks like you were not able to make your idea more concise, so it doesn't leaves a good impression. So what would be better is you omit a few things, you say lesser things, but things which are easier to understand, and then of course they can go and check the website and the product or anything else. So I would say transitions, don't really spend your energy there, because there are too many transitions. Don't go for a Canva template or a PowerPoint template, a Google Slide template, or any other AI template, because it's not worth it. If you're using any of these presentations, just start with a very simple blank one, and just that would be like sufficient. You don't have to add too many things. So challenge specific resources, I'm not sure if they're out yet. I think you will have to check the website. And yeah, so Asma, how do you balance 30-second pitch? So for example, okay, let us just try to see if I'm able to open the water management that I had included in the screenshot. Okay, and then you will be able to understand how somebody else is able to explain it, and then you can, I think, get a better idea. So I will just try to show it to you guys right over here. It might take a moment. Okay. And I would say if you go to the NASA website, there is actually, or the NASA Space Apps Challenge, like the YouTube channel, there is a playlist where the people who have won in the past, like the pictures were really good, they have explained some of the best practices. So I think it's a playlist of maybe 10-20 videos. So you can go through them again. Most of the things that I had included in the presentation were from there, and they have like some other resources and some other things as well. So you can, of course, like go through it again to understand or to get some new idea as well. So just give me a second. I will try to play it. The project is called Motorwise. Okay. Okay, where is it? Okay, yeah. Just a moment. Okay. Not trying to work, but I hope it works. So you can see it's just 30 seconds and it has auto captions. So let's just take a look.
WaterWise for better farm water management. Easily monitor weather and field hydration at a glance. Track irrigation task, status, and overall crop health. To add a new field, navigate on the map, enter crop type, growth stage, irrigation system, and specific flow rate. Map out your field, and WaterWise will calculate precise water requirements and irrigation times for the next 7 days. Ask Sprout AI, our custom engineered chatbot, any questions about your fields for more advice. WaterWise, get your farm's water usage right.
So yeah, what do you guys think about that? So what is the last screen? Wait. Oh no. Okay. I'm just trying to pause it at the last screen. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so I would say if you were able to watch this video, I think my internet is a bit bad. Yeah. So if you were able to watch this video or any other videos that you can find online on YouTube, like Just go through them and you will be able to see how it's possible to explain your solution in 30 seconds or less, or somehow, somewhere. Yes, PPT. I think I've shared it already with, I think, Parth, or not Parth, but somebody else. So I have already shared this PPT with the team, and I think they can just forward it to you. I think, yeah, it is important to make the project on 4th and 5th of October, because that's why it's a hackathon. Yeah, you work day and night on those 2 days, and then you come up with a solution. So you can't really start working beforehand. Okay, I guess those are okay. Okay, I think that's all of the questions. Yeah, if somebody has any other questions, they can ask. But I would say you still have time right now. I think there are not, like, go through the playlist on the NASA Space Apps YouTube channel, which is about the best practices. Go through the past year, right? Yeah, Kazma, you should not start working on the website from now on. How can you start working on the website when you're not sure what the, like, the exact details about the, I would say, the problem that you're working on? Like, even if you have a vague idea, you would be having more and more, data about that only on, like, I think, third or fourth. So I'm not sure, even if you start working in advance, how useful it is and how do your team members feel about that. So you should not start working on the website beforehand. You can think about different solutions and you can discuss them and maybe you can write them. But yeah, as far as I know, you should not start on the project before you actually meet everybody and you're in the space of the hackathon. Yeah. Are there any other questions? I don't think so. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, to conclude this session, I would express our heartfelt gratitude to you. You have definitely equipped our participants with confidence and clarity that they need in order to pitch their ideas and show their impactful solutions. So, we're really grateful for your time, energy, and wisdom that you have shared with us. Thank you so much, ma'am. And a big thank you to the participants as well for joining and keeping with us through the entire boot camp. And we definitely have a lot more coming for you.
Yeah. All the best, everyone. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Bye bye. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants will have a feedback form floated in the chat. We request you to fill that for the certification purpose.